Alright, so I'm at a point where the script I had for this video just doesn't make any sense. So I'll just try to freestyle it and we'll see how it goes. The fact is, I didn't really even want to make this video because this video's already been made by everyone else. But, well, here I am talking about the same thing, so I might as well get myself a lav mic and just talk straight into the camera and put that in the thumbnail like everyone else does. But no, alright, there's this infinite entertainment. And basically, it has to do with the fact that nowadays that's just pretty much how it feels. We have infinite entertainment. I guess this video is part of the increasing mountain of video garbage that you can come across online. And the thing is, like, you compare that with back in the day when movies were just becoming a thing. You'd go to the movies and you'd watch the one movie, and it's a movie that pretty much everyone that went also saw. There's this concept of the mainstream, so it was like the mainstream movie because everyone was aware of it. And that carried on into TV even though there was a lot more options on TV. If you watched like a popular artist on MTV in the 80s, you could count on people knowing about that event the next Monday at school or whatever. So despite there being more options on TV, which completely took over the industry of movies, there was still a sort of mainstream where people could come together and talk about the shows that were on TV. And obviously all that changed with the internet, which essentially what it provided is this distribution platform where everyone could now upload their videos and, well, you could just enjoy watching videos, I guess. But you look at it nowadays, and it's gotten to a point where, in part due to the tendency of this short form video craze, but also an algorithm that is capable of feeding you things that you might be interested in, and that algorithm actually working pretty well, that I think we've reached this era of infinite entertainment where it's almost pointless entertainment in the sense that you can open the feed of a For You page or whatever, like click on the shorts button on YouTube, and you could just be scrolling for like an hour. But once you're done and you think back about the videos you just saw and you try to remember five, well, chances are you probably can't. Like you'll scroll back and you'll say, oh yeah, I remember that one, I remember that one. But in the moment, once you're done watching these videos, you can't really remember what you even saw. So it's kind of complicated to attack this concept of infinite entertainment because ultimately it's what allows creators of any size to contribute their own little bit of video entertainment to the internet. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, right? It's not like we want to go back and gatekeep everything, and only if you're popular enough to have a TV show or make a movie, then you should. And if not, then you should just not create anything at all. I think creating things is important, but the way that we're consuming them nowadays is just insane. I mean, like I said, you forget them the instant you swipe past them. Because here's the thing, even though you're free to create whatever type of videos you want, only a certain type of videos will be rewarded by, again, the algorithm and will be promoted to a larger audience. And especially if you look at YouTube when you're not signed in, you'll find like the most generic, brain dead, stupid content. But the point is, like, these videos are being rewarded for being stupid, and I guess that's why we fall into this criticism of slop and brain rot. But the true reason why I decided to make this video is a couple of days ago, YouTube actually decided to introduce VO3, which is a generative AI tool that will allow pretty much anyone to just type their prompt and they'll upload a short that's completely AI generated, which is really fucked up if you ask me. And quickly going back to the point of there's no more mainstream. If all you do is watch For You feeds and algorithm picked content, it will get to a point where it does in fact manage to deliver things that you like. But the problem is, because it's personalized, not everyone else will also see the same thing. So in a way, it sort of isolates you to your own personal things that you like. and also how you respond to the algorithm itself. So there's this idea that I've had: the For You feed would not only recommend other people's videos, but it would essentially also create videos for you. And as a result, you'd have this feed where, sure, you're seeing human-made content every once in a while, but then you'd get an ad with your face or with a deceased loved one's face or things like that. Uh, and you wouldn't be able to tell right away that it's AI. So for a brief moment, and people could even speculate, are these videos that are showing up on my feed actually real or AI? You wouldn't know, but it would start to influence you. And maybe AI would be able to create skits based on, I don't know, some sort of political alignment, and start feeding them to you and start almost molding the way you think. And given that there's no mainstream, you're the only one watching these videos. So who knows down which rabbit hole it will take you, and ultimately how it will influence the population as a whole, where pretty much everyone hears what they want to see, but also gets influenced into wanting to hear certain things versus not wanting to hear others, which it sounds like tinfoil hat territory. But the problem is, like, this was a wild theory back then, and just now YouTube has finally started implementing the generation of AI videos directly on the platform. So I'm wondering, like, even if that's tinfoil hat territory, we're just one step closer, which I think is a pretty huge problem. But overall, I can't come up with a good takeaway other than if you catch yourself just mindlessly watching videos and wasting time, well, might as well ask yourself, is there absolutely nothing else I could be doing that's better than this? Because I think that's what's happened to me. It's like you're just killing time, and like I said, you don't even remember what you just saw. So what's even the point of killing time for the sake of killing time? It's like in Click, the movie Click with Adam Sandler. It's like you're just skipping to a given point in time because you already killed 2 hours of your life just watching videos that were kind of pointless and you don't remember, and now you just traveled 2 hours into the future. So it's like, why not put those 2 hours into something that's maybe more beneficial, which is ultimately the takeaway. But then again, it's hard to criticize these sort of things without thinking about how historically there's always been some sort of slop. Even movies have been criticized for being sloppy when they first came out, and I guess all the time. Even TV shows, like TV is the idiot box. It's the original format where you'd scroll mindlessly. But the problem is, it seems like it's getting worse. Like, I mean, despite the fact that there's always been slop, the way it's being delivered to your brain now makes it so that it's easier to just turn your brain off. You could be doing something better, but that requires effort. And scrolling requires no effort and provides you instant gratification, which is another subject that is, again, talked about by pretty much everyone. I don't think it's something that's going to get fixed. I don't think that AI is a trend that will die out, because ultimately AI is kind of good at what it does, and it's getting better, and it has a fuck ton of money behind it. So people will continue to fund it and will continue to push for this dystopian reality where now all content is AI generated, which I don't think will happen. But, imagine a future where everything is AI generated for the most part, but what isn't, what's still human and organic, is something you can't afford because the economic gap has gotten so bad that now you can either choose to consume organic content or buy groceries because it's just that expensive. So it's like the AI generated content is the new actual slop, the new feed in the animal farm sense of the word, that is just being fed to you because you can't really consume anything else, which is a pretty bleak future. But, where are we heading? If short form content, if For You based algorithms, and if generative AI is profitable as it's proven to be, then, well, with big tech in charge, there would have to be a really big pushback or some other form of regulation that, well, I just don't foresee happening. Uh, yeah.